Hello, welcome to another weekly video. Today I'm going to be talking about when God talks to you. I've had a lot of videos where I've talked about, I guess, what happens once God is already talking to you, kind of just what the relationship might look like when you kind of already know, I guess, how God talks to you or how to talk to God. But I thought I would go back and kind of just talk about um, the I guess the foundation of like God talking to you and what that really means. Because like I don't really think that I even had a good understanding of it until the past few years. Um, I mean, I guess when I heard people tell me that God talked to them in the past, I didn't really understand what they meant. And I think that's mostly because everybody kind of has a different definition of when God speaks to you. I'll kind of just go by what what I learned about things myself. But it's different really for everybody. Um, I don't know if anybody really gets on this level of like having conversations with God, like a total back and forth conversation. I don't think it's ever really like that. And the reason I say that is because I used to think that. I used to just really think that one day I could just um, talk to God like He was in the room and He would talk back to me and we could have a conversation. But it's not really like that, at least for me. I kind of had to get this understanding that like um, God talks to you in like different ways sometimes. And like, I'm not saying that God can't talk to you. I say audibly, it won't be like hearing another person in a room. You may just hear something inside your mind that kind of feels different than anything that you're used to thinking, and it's very uh, like there's no mistaking that it's God. It's like it is does feel like a voice inside of your head. I know it sounds crazy. It's not really that strange once it happens to you. But I'll go ahead and talk about my experience because um, I feel like that's where a lot of people are when I look at what I used to think about these type of things before I got married and kind of learned some different things. But when I was growing up and living at home, I'd say till I was about like 25 or something. Um, I mean, I thought I had a pretty good relationship with God. I mean, I was saved and I felt a lot of times that like God was leading me in certain ways and to go into more details, it I guess it was like you kind of just um you get this feeling when you're thinking about doing something or if you do something if it's right or wrong. Not to mention, you know, I guess I had gone to church enough to kind of understand the what the Bible talks about is right or wrong. Now I know there's a lot of gray areas in there, but you kind of you kind of know the basic things like you're not supposed to steal, you know, um, you're not supposed to lie. I mean, things like that. That's just kind of a basic idea of like um, God can lead you through feelings. Sometimes if you do find yourself lying or stealing, you may feel like I mean, I'm going to call it a guilt, but you'll feel a bad feeling, and that, I mean, as strange as it sounds, that is partly God. I'll say leading you, but you can kind of I mean, you could kind of look at it like it's God talking to you. That's just kind of how I used to view things. God uses different things to talk to you. It's not really just like a voice that you hear sometimes. Uh, so I mean that you could kind of use. feelings to determine, if it's something towards God or not. Sometimes he uses those kind of things. Um, he also uses like, um, and again, this is going back to what I kind of had an idea of growing up. He uses like closed doors, open doors, to kind of talk you, lead you. I mean, talk to you and lead you. Um, like if you don't get a job that you're trying to apply for, that's kind of God, saying to you that's not the right path for you. I mean, that's how I kind of viewed things. I really didn't. I guess I would say that I really didn't even think that God had like a voice that He spoke to you. I never experienced anything like that really. I just remember getting strong feelings like, um, I remember one time I was on a medication and I just remember kind of getting this feeling. I mean, I'm not for sure looking back. Maybe it was more of an audible. I mean, not audible. Sorry. Maybe it was more of a voice inside my mind, but it just felt like I needed to stop taking the medicine that I was on, and I didn't understand, and I didn't do what I felt. So I had some consequences to that, but so I just kind of felt like it was more of a going by feelings type thing. That was kind of how I viewed talking with God, or God talking to you. Um, you know, I don't want to go as far as like signs or whatever, but somebody might describe it that way. Looking at what kind of signs do you see going on around you, that you kind of learn over time, what is God and what isn't. But um, after I got married, I started to be around more people that were talking about, uh, God actually speaking, and so I tried to get more of an understanding of it. Um, and so really, it's like I said, it's all the things that I mentioned before. That is still what you might call God talking to you, but um, I guess what I learned, after after those things when I was younger, I learned that God does sometimes talk to you with a voice kind of inside your mind, like I was saying. I know it sounds weird, but um, it's really more like it's like a thought, but it's a thought that's like very confident. I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's a certain, the whatever is being said is certain, if that makes sense. Um, for example, you know, I um, I felt like, um, one day that God was telling me to give strawberries to the neighbors, and it was kind of just like a thought in my mind, but it wasn't anything that I would usually think, so I knew it was kind of God. Um, but I guess there was one more thing I was just thinking of. God can speak to you through your dreams too. That's where actually I get the most information. Sometimes it'll be, you know, um, something that God wants me to do, and it's kind of obvious, but like, God will actually sometimes speak to me in my dreams. That's where I hear things the most. And I've had dreams where I was walking with God and He was talking to me, but it you still don't have any control over the dreams. You just know that it's God talking to you in the dream. So there's still this certainty to it. You don't really have any doubts. So it's it's basically those things. Um, if you hear people saying, God talking to you, um, or specifically my videos, if I say, God told me, or God is talking to me, that's kind of what I mean. It'll be one of those few things. God can also communicate to you in silence. um, just relaxing your mind can kind of help help thoughts flow a little bit better. So it kind of feels like God helps you in those kind of ways. But anyway, I don't want to go on too long. I just wanted to give an idea of that kind of thing as I do more videos. But um, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer that. Um, I don't know everything, and this is all just my experience. But if you'd like to let me know something, I'll be happy to look at it and see see if I can respond to it possibly. Just get an understanding from where other people are coming from. So, anyway, thank you for watching and have a nice day.